Things returned to normal, but the toll was devastating. The authorities were baffled, unable to explain what had happened. Whispers about Emma being right about the dolls spread, but the story was so fantastical that the general public couldn't accept it as a logical explanation. To them, it was just another weird event in a town with its fair share of oddities and tragedies. The kids' families, however, believed them. They knew the truth. They were proud of their children for saving the town despite the harrowing cost. As the dust settled and the town rebuilt, life moved on. The events of that October night moved into the annals of town history, gone but not forgotten. Emma, like her great-grandmother before her, became the guardian of the doll. The scars on the town began to heal and life slowly returned to its usual rhythms. The children who had witnessed the horrors grew up, some moving away, others staying but forever changed. The doll, locked away in its glass prison, became a dark secret that Emma, Jake, and Annie shared, a bond forged in terror and blood. Years later, as life moved on, there was a reunion between Emma and her friends. They gathered in Emma's house, older, with lives and responsibilities of their own. They reminisced about old times, laughed about the silly things they used to do, and inevitably, the conversation turned to that night, that terrible, unforgettable night. Jake, lifting a glass of whiskey in his prosthetic hand, said to us, the saviors of Macadoua. A wry grin played on his lips, but his eyes betrayed the darkness that still lingered. Annie addressed the elephant in the room. "Can we see it?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. Emma looked at them. "Are you sure?" she asked Annie, and Jake looked at each other, then at Emma, and nodded. Emma led them to her cellar, then to a locked room in the cellar. She unlocked the two deadbolts in the knob, leading them, and Emma's heart pounded in her chest as she approached the safe. She unlocked the big safe, then the smaller safe inside. Finally, she revealed the giant mason jar with the doll. It sat there, seemingly harmless, its cracked porcelain face frozen in a malevolent grin. It just looks like an old doll now. Nothing sinister." Annie said. Jake, ever the skeptic, leaned in closer. He pointed to the backside of the doll's foot. Has that piece always been missing? Emma felt a chill run down her spine. The room seemed to close in, the shadows deepening. "We did our best," she said, her voice laced with fear. "We stopped it, we saved the town." They left the cellar, each lost in their thoughts, their bond stronger than ever. They had faced the darkness together and survived, but they knew that the past had a way of resurfacing, and the shadows were always waiting. As they parted ways, the memory of that night stayed with them, a reminder of their courage, their loss, and the fragile peace they had fought so hard to protect. They left the cellar, each lost in their thoughts, their bond stronger than ever. They had faced the darkness together and survived. But they knew that the past had a way of resurfacing, and the shadows were always waiting. As they parted ways, the memory of that night stayed with them, a reminder of their courage, their loss, and the fragile peace they had fought so hard to protect.